Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, we hear you
Okay.
loud and clear.
Okay, that's good. I didn't have a chance to check. I just got in.
I should do a mic check as well. Can you hear me?
What time are we going to start? Like a quarter after?
Patricia, I told you I would tell you after I get the live stream going. I'm still trying to
Okay.
get it going.
I would
I'll
just
let you
say,
know.
because I'm just making sure that, when people come in, okay? Give me a,
There's the
it's
gallery.
usually a quarter after we
Okay.
start.
Is my audio working? Can you hear me?
Oh dear.
Yes, Josephine, we can hear you.
Thank you, Megan. I'll go back to mute then. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's see. I gotta get this moving a little bit. There we go. Oh, there we are. Ah.
Okay, good.
Well,
Yes.
so Patricia, I was late with my haiku.
Well, unfortunately, it's becoming popular, okay?
You're
As it says in my submission thing, my submission call, and on the Google form, it says if we reach our thing, that's it. That's why.
I know. Well, you're
That's
from
what I'm
all
saying.
over.
It was very popular. I think maybe because I'm getting three reasons: the popularity. Number two, it's the age thing because a lot of people a lot of poets I know love talking about age. And number three, I think it's because of the holiday. People in the rush to get stuff over it because of the holiday. I know that feeling because I'm trying to get everything out of the way now.
Yeah,
I'm going to be going on hiatus for Brownstones after this reading. And next week I have to like shut down. I got to post the Sense and Sensibility for January, and also to tell the touchstone, and also to tell everybody I'm going on hiatus, and we won't have our next submission call until January 7th because give me a break.
you're from all over the world. It's amazing.
Too much. I need to enjoy my time out. I need time out, and this year has been very stressful for me, as some people know.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah,
I have to have boundaries, guys. I'm human. I'm not AI.
Thank goodness.
Sometimes I think I am AI.
No.
Yeah, we'll go live at 2:10. We got 2 minutes to go live.
Okay, you just tell me, okay? Because I'm not doing
At
squat.
2:10. 2:10.
Okay.
2:10. Okay. Roxanne, it started streaming on the YouTube, right?
Right. It's already started. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, dear.
Yeah.
Hi, Zara.
Hi.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Zore. So nice to see you.
So nice to see you all. Thank you.
Hi, Amy.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. How you doing?
Okay.
Bruce.
Hey, Bruce. Hey, Amy.
Amy, hi.
Hi, nice to see you.
The best to people today, Roxanne, Patricia, the best of the best.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to mute.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, another minute and we'll be starting. Hey, Jack.
I'm going to unmute and say hello to everybody. Everybody I know and don't know. It's really great to see this incredible panorama of people. And Patricia, I hope you get a really great respite. I'm sure it's well needed.
Hey, Joni. So nice to see you.
Thank you, Patricia.
Hi, everybody. And I also wanted to say, Patricia, I hope you enjoy your rest. Well deserved.
I need it. It's because everybody thinks, I'm getting all these emails. They think I'm on the computer 24/7. I mean, a girl has to wash up. A girl has to put on her makeup. A girl has to breathe. A girl has to read. I would like to read books again.
A girl's just got to have fun.
Yeah, like, come on, everybody.
And turn off the news.
Yeah. Like, I have these great new books here I ordered. I want to read it by Hilary Mantel. I'm into history.
Interesting.
She's good.
Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Mariah.
Okay.
Good
I
luck.
saw Bertha a minute ago. Where's Bertha?
Hi.
Oh, okay. There you are.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Jack.
Jack.
Jack is
Jack.
here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hi,
What,
Rex.
did Austin come in?
Not yet.
I am here. Yes.
Yeah, but Austin, Alexis, okay, because we,
Austin is here. Hey, Austin.
I don't think
No,
so.
Gear Austin is here, not Austin
Not
Alexis.
no,
Austin.
no, we're talking about Austin and Alexis.
Austin
No,
is
he's not here.
yet. He's not here yet.
Sam.
I'm just attending to my makeup.
There's Austin, Alexis.
Yeah, there he is. He just came
Thank
up.
God, so
Yeah.
everybody's here,
Oh, good.
okay.
Hi, Austin.
Hi,
Oh, hi,
Howdy,
can you hear me?
neighbor.
hi.
I couldn't get on.
Well, you're on now.
I had so much trouble.
Okay, but you're on now, right?
You're here,
You're here.
that's important.
Let's move forward. Sorry you had the trouble, but you're on now.
Okay.
You're very
Hi,
good.
Austin.
Okay, to time it,
Hi.
okay.
Yeah, Patricia, just send Susan Mary the live stream link. That's it.
Okay,
That's it. We're not dealing
I
with.
have to look for it now, I cannot start the reading now.
Okay, so she'll get it afterwards.
So I'll give it her afterwards, I'm just tired of it, I can't keep this up. How am I supposed to introduce people, right?
Right. Okay, because it is now 2:12, so we should have started.
Yeah, okay, here we go. Hi, welcome to Brownstone Poets, everybody. Give yourself a round of applause for being here. If we have a fabulous, fabulous day here, we have a celebration of this wonderful anthology. Thank you, guys. You're all responsible for putting it together. Thank you. And Maria, you're gonna get it like after Christmas. Thank you. So thank you everybody for being part of it, for making this baby work. Thank you for the photos, and thank you everybody, because it's not just Brownstone Poets, it is you. You made it happen, not me. So we're gonna start off with the first 14. We have a lot of people here, and we have to, okay. We have to break free of what we usually do. It's not 3 minutes. It's going to be a 2-minute limit. One poem, 2-minute limit on the one poem. Only one poem. So
For the open mic. For the open mic.
Yeah, Maxim, because unfortunately, we have too many people who are coming in, and we have
spotlight readers are going to get 6.
Yeah, spotlights get 6.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to read off who's the first 14, and then we're going to have the first 7 from the spotlights, and then we're going to have a 50-minute break, and when we come back, we're going to have the 6 remaining spotlighters read, and then the rest of the open mic. Okay. So we're going to start off with Ron Bremer. Is he here?
Not yet.
Okay, so we'll go back to it. We have Gear Austin, Dorothy Cantwell, not here.
Dorothy's not on yet.
Okay. Ron Combe.
Not on yet.
Amy Barone, Caroline DiGiovanni. Karen's not going to read, I think I heard her say. Bill's not coming. Mona, is Mona here?
Nope.
Okay, wow, looks like Bruce Whitaker.
Bruce, I think, is here.
Jeff Cottrell, Therese, John McMullen, Sarah Sarai, and Zoria Zabad.
Sarah's not here yet.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start with Ron Bremer. Ron, please unmute.
Ron's not here.
Oh, jeez. Dear Austin, please unmute and share. Thank you. 2-minute limit, one poem.
Okay. I'm going to read the poem that's in the anthology, and just when I first met my current partner, he read my book that Roxanne published, and he said, Are all the boyfriends in your poems real? So I wrote a poem called that. I'm not going to read that. And the other thing he said was, your poetry isn't really poetry, because he had last read poetry when he was a student at Brown, and it apparently all rhymed. So this is my attempt to read a rhyming poem, which is very much against the grain for me. It's a sonnet. It's called I Immortalize You Like an Elizabethan. One night I drew your portrait on the beach. You danced on it with rockabilly feet. At brunch, I drew you on top of a quiche. We ate your smile, a satisfying delete. Silly me, I can't capture you that way. Sand and egg portraits are temporary, and you will disappear like them someday. Humans live on Earth so very briefly. I shudder thinking about your decline, then post my poem online where it will last. In cyberspace, your hair will never gray, our times never recede into the past. Everything dies despite all we try to do, but these words will ever celebrate you.
Oh, lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's the end of my Spencerian sonnet career, the beginning.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see who else is here now. Caroline, Amy, you want to read? Unmute and share.
Okay, I'm going to read my poem from the anthology. Thank you again for all your hard work, Patricia. It's called His Golden Messenger. Agents of temptation since biblical times, snakes stand for danger, death, reign, birth, passion, forever. Sea serpents battled gods and heroes. After death, Medusa with her helical hair retained magical powers. Serpent Queen Catherine de' Medici used guile to hold on to France. In the Garden of Eden, cosmic snakes clung to the tree of life. A Naga shielded Buddha from an approaching storm. Like Catherine, I slide on jasmine perfumed gloves, dance with snakes alongside the Hopi near desert willows as we summon cloud spirits to replenish Earth's bounty. Thank you.
Thank you so much, beautiful. Okay, who else is here? Caroline, you want to unmute and share?
Hello, yes, I too will read from the anthology. And thank you very much again, Patricia. Your work is very much appreciated. Please know that when you take your little rest. So my poem in the anthology is called Understanding Autumn. Every year where we live, autumn arrives with colors blazing, vibrant red and gold. I walk in the ravine on a crisp day. It opens our eyes. A walk in the ravine on a crisp day opens our eyes to see the forest like a movie on a giant screen. It is exciting to experience the royal cavalcade when the sun shines on the dazzling array. Like my friend, no longer young, who dresses with a flair that captivates imagination. Her outfits may be vintage, but always elegant. Gracious and generous, she celebrates life. The cold comes soon enough with darkened skies. Leaves fall into the wind. They swirl away. The energy that quickened every motion starts to slow down. The shoulders sag. It's time to calm the pace. Inhale, exhale, rest on a park bench. Take time to think. Back over many years of changing seasons, time to remember autumn, where the magic comes from. So, thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, next up, let's see who's here. Bruce Whitaker, Jeff Cottrell, Therese, John McMullen, Zariah. Okay. Okay, Bruce, please unmute and share. 2-minute limit.
Yep. Hello,
One poem,
everyone.
2-minute limit.
Yep. I want to say hello and also goodbye. You may know I'm moving to Europe after the first of the year. I'll try to stay on board here and play the Jack Cooper game with the time zones, but I'll miss you all. And here's my poem from the anthology,
Miss
The
you too.
Paralysis of the Bourgeoisie. I walk past Santander Bank on Main Street after a snowfall of feathery crystals now melting into a slippery mush over tramped down ice. The grocer, the cannabis store, and the taqueria have all scooped their walks clear except for the stretch fronting Santander. With nothing to lose but my arrogance, I go in and berate the young woman managing the bank. You're the deepest pocket on the block. Now you sit here ripe for a fall and a fleecing. Didn't you yourself tread that treacherous patch? She shoos me out while still on the phone. I had met my match. With nothing to lose but my guilt, I go in, ask for the shovel, and clear it myself. My beatification would be just one reward for my selfless, unheard of generosity. I fuel my delicious, self-righteous blame but Santander refuses to bite. It feels no shame. With nothing to lose but my tailbone, I go in with my own shovel and get to work. Swoosh, swoosh, lift, toss, swoosh, swoosh. A searing pain grips my chest, knocks me to my knees, and down I fall, doing Santander no favors at all. With nothing to lose but my chains, I go on, glare through the window at lone desks and tellers. There's a Santander on every street, in every crowd. I know my place, where my business begins and ends. Complain all you want, but let things be. That's the paralysis of the bourgeoisie. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you again. Thank you so much. Okay, next up, we're going to have from Canada, Jeff Cottrell.
Okay, from the anthology, here is a slightly abridged version of Lazy Book Reports. The best part in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein is when the monster cries, "I am Frankenstein!" And then he goes and kills and eats everybody because he's pure evil. The best part in Bram Stoker's Dracula is when the vampire says, "Blah, blah, blah, I want to suck your blood." And then he goes and sparkles all over the place and counts everything he sees. The best part in Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice is when the mother says to her daughter, "Rich men always want to get married." And then the daughter goes and marries that guy because he's so rich and handsome. The best part in T.S. Eliot's The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock is when the guy sings his beautiful love song and then all the women come and go and he just can't get away from them because he's a hot stud full of mojo. The best part in Bernard Shaw's Man and Superman is when Superman swoops down and saves the man from General Zod and then everybody cheers because it's so exciting. No talk, all heart-stopping action. The best part in William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet is when the girl stands on the balcony and calls, "Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?" And then he goes and jumps out and says, "Here I am," and they live happily ever after, forever. The best part in Charles Dickens' David Copperfield is when the man calls out to the crowd, "I am the hero of my own life." And then he goes and does more cool magic tricks, and all the orphans cheer and cry, "I want some more." And the best part in Sesame Street's The Monster at the end of this book is when the big scary monster eats Grover at the end. So that was a slightly shortened version of Lazy Book Reports, which an even shorter version of that is in the anthology. And I have a new novel. I'll put the thing in the chat again. That's me. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Great stuff. Okay, who is this phone number? 9738. Who are you?
They have to unmute.
You have to unmute. Who are you? Because I don't know, I may have skipped your name. Okay, we'll come back to you later. Okay, if you're not reading, everyone please mute. Thank you. Okay, next up do we have Therese. Please unmute and share.
Hi, thanks a lot, Patricia. I'm sure this work is exhausting, but I really appreciate the effort you make. This is from the book, the anthology as well. And then I have like a tiny one for Christmas, very tiny. We are not alone. Just as the heart of prayer gathers our assent and that love present everywhere, music transcends. We are propelled above the limits of words and share an all-embracing unity together. Music sets us free, you see. The work of life integrates our body, mind, and spirit within a melody of love where music's splendor flows like molten gold, restoring every break in every fold. The trail of song provides an everlasting space to move our bodies with the grace of unity. Colton touched this fire of creativity just as Mozart, Amy Winehouse, and the amazing Ms. D. It's in us to create and perform as Jacqueline Dupre in giving our very being while seeing the end is in sight, continuing our cosmic flight. The ancient drummers crossed the miles with news or bagpipers following their muse to fill the space with song and more, gathering courage and leading others to war. Music helped us to gather our strength with a larger vision, replacing the prison of despair. Songs of the bereaved or the Irish oppressed in their land, or our gospel music making clear who is in command as ancestors erase the deviant pathology of difference in race. We sang to one another, love is everywhere, from the simple happy birthday song to our national anthems claiming space where we belong. Music lives and shapes our lives from monastic chants to Broadway rants. Melodies soothe, inspire, and make us laugh. They mark the season that transcends our reason. Yes, every note that is intoned is telling us we're not alone. Listen, listen for the Om. This is a really mini one, just for the season. And it's called Immortality in honor of my muse, Flannery O'Connor. Do you know when you're hanging festive lights bright at Christmastide and when children sing carols, they bring reminders of death? Thanks, I'm done. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay. Well, let me just go down through this. Did anybody come on that I haven't mentioned? Please let me know in the chat. Okay, we're gonna have John McMullen, Zoraya Zabad, Richard Spacek, Kerry Cox Lee, and we're gonna have Maria Perez West leave early. Okay, take it away, John. Thank you.
Let's see now. We have a person who will go to a service academy and then the commissioned as an officer in the United States Navy. His training was impressed on him that must obey all legal orders while not obeying illegal ones, such as in order to shoot the prisoners. Then we have another person who never had any military training. His bone spurs kept him out of the service, but believes that anything he says is a legal order because he is the president of the United States. It is not. The naval officer served as a combat fighter pilot, then a test pilot, and later was selected to be a NASA astronaut flying 4 space missions. He retired in 2012 after serving as both an astronaut and 26 years as a naval officer. And 8 years later, in 2020, was elected as the United States Senator from Arizona. November 25, 2025, he and a number of other military veterans now serving in the House of Representatives and the Senate appeared in a video repeating the regulation that military officers must not obey illegal orders. The president immediately responded, calling the action sedition, which is punishable by death, a statement that resulted in death threats being sent to the veterans' families. Additionally, there was a move to bring the retired naval officer back to the status without his consent of active military duty, so he could be prosecuted for sedition or some other absurd charge. The prosecution, if carried out, would be guided by the UCMJ, Universal Code of Military Justice. Articles 90 and 92 of the UCMJ Code say that a service person may not carry out illegal orders and his crimes have to be recognized. So we have the bizarre possibility the United States Senator with an exemplary military record may be prosecuted for reminding service personnel of sections in the law he's being prosecuted for. Banana Republic, here we come.
Thank
Amen.
you so much. Soraya, please unmute and share. And after Soraya, we're gonna have Richard Spisek, Carrie Cox Lee. Is Claire here? I don't think she's here. No Judith, no Timothy, no Lynn, no Martina. But we're gonna have Maria Perez, Wesley Early, and then we're gonna end with Bruce Grossberg. Okay, that's it for the lineup. Take it away, Soraya.
Hello, everyone. I'm really glad to be here today. For those who don't know me, my name is Zoreh Zadboud. I'm an Iranian storyteller, photographer, and poet, writing in English and Persian. A very big thank you to Patricia for all the effort you're putting in. I really appreciate it. And to a sincere thank also to Roxanne and everyone else who were part of the Brownstone. I've chosen a poem that I feel really matched the celebration we're having for today's reading. The poem is called Diving Murmurs of Joy. Praise the moment, the one when you can finally breathe with all your veins and muscles. Your white cells and red cells are no longer trapped, sublimated. Praise the moment, the one when you're standing on the first foothills peak that leads to the vast mountain range. With wounds your soul knows, you feel the balm, you're healing. Praise the moment, the one when you are no longer solid, you feel the sun's ray on your skin, the warmth gifted in your heart. You are alphanist. Fly away above the ground in tango with a swan feather. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next up, Richard Spisek.
Thank you so much. I want to thank all the good people of Brownstone. I have a quick little one called the Fact Checkers Ban. The State Department received a memo saying that anybody who's been associated with fact checking, banned from the US. So here it is, Fact Checker banned. Fact checkers, truth speakers, let them in. The damn fabrications crumble. You never win. And that won't help on Wall Street if reputations tumble. How can that even stand when lying is in such demand? One can hardly tell and then barely see all the lonely way clear across the fog-bound Zuider Zee. The enemies of lying just aren't welcome here. And after all, they might crimp and even damage the liars and offend, suspend their trumptatious careers. We like the liars. We like to see them flourish. What about the dangers, even the little mangers, unless they're fully nourished and encouraged? All the truth-telling, well, it can get pretty icky. Then after all, the slanderous, sickly liars, they must prosper and flourish. If gorging on the public coffers is to succeed and flourish, this, my friend, is exactly what truth-telling neglects and in any way to encourage. We've decided to raise the bar. Those goddamn truth-tellers and fact-checkers, we know who they are. They might hinder the liars or maybe leave a scar.
Thank you. Oh, okay, thank you so much. Carrie, would you like to read?
Yes, please. My poem is called Chapel of the Transfiguration. Hearty helpings of well-intentioned whelping, delivering ominous tales in between the sounds of yelping. Every mother umbilicized, connected at the core, capsized in amniotic thrumming, tunneling back and forth. A transmogrified weapon made of motion and sediment, caked up constants that cleaved the breathing into ancient offspring, oracles crying prophecies of newborn philosophies, given to fallopian fawning, the ancient game of rook and pawning, the feast of mathematics, undulating and multiplying into 1,000 pulses in 1,000 places, a trillion cell walls parading into special spaces. Where were we when the water fell? The broken bell rang out in cold air, in this room, your smile gone sideways, the camera lens seeming to zoom. Where the sutures aren't snug, where the tubes can't be tied, where the lining is the miracle, nurturing the trembling seedling inside. So many times we crouched. A womanhood ritual, silent or screaming, no matter or doubt. We split this universe and a human slips out from stardust, an angel story, an animal mouth, storked up, dreamed into flesh, made devout to a universe within, surrounded without. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's see who else is next year. Oh, Lord. Let me see. I see Ron came in. I don't see Judith, Timothy, Lynn, Martina. Or I see Bruce, and I have Maria has to leave early, and I see Ron is in the house. Okay, those are the three, and then we're going to break into the spotlights, the first half. Okay, take it away. I'm out of window. Take it away. Who's the next person? So I did Carrie.
Maria.
Maria. Oh no, we're gonna do Bruce. Unmute, and then after Bruce, we're gonna do Maria, and we're gonna do Ron. Okay.
Thanks, Patricia. Thanks whoever invited me to this. I'm not sure who it was. I'm looking forward to hearing Mega read later. I don't have any poems in this book. I have supposed to be at another launch like this for Moonstone in Philadelphia tomorrow. They're launching a book on anthology of poems about human rights. I can't be there, but I guess I'm here, so I'll read that poem. It's called Know Your Rights in Jackson Heights, 2017. Standing room only, church basement, relying on sanctuary protection that may no longer be in force. Lawyers talking in English, stopping every few sentences for interpreters to speak in Spanish and Mandarin. Translators of Bengali, Tagalog, Creole, not the complete list, whispering into transmitters. All audience members can hear the language they know, either live or through their headsets. Plenty of rights. Right to remain silent, right to insist on a warrant, right to have a lawyer present if things come to that. Takes all your physical strength and courage, dizzy in the noises and smells of the moment, face to face with armed officers telling you things in a language you're just learning, to stand on your rights when you're being pushed hard. Born in the USA, speaking English all my life, white skin, white hair, fancy degrees, knowing who to call if something were to happen to me. I don't know if I have the stomach, a euphemism, to stare down men with badges and guns in real time. I hope I never have to find out. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. Okay. Maria, unmute and share, and then it'll be Ron Bremmer. If anybody I missed from the first group, like Dorothy Cantwell, Ron Combe, Mona, Sarah, Susan, Elizabeth, whatever, Ellen, Claire, Judith, Timothy, Lynn, Martina. Please let me know. Okay, let's go, Maria.
Hola, everybody. Beautiful celebration. Thank you, Patricia and staff. Thank you. Beautiful. This is the poem in the anthology, and curiously, this semester I'm teaching on the golden age in Spanish poetry. So somehow it's just by chance the one that I submitted, it's the same time. Teresa Ahumada Cepeda de Avila. I will speak to you who came from far to this my Avila to see my dried up sandal and my defiant bone, the phalanges of my right middle finger, the only bone not stolen by the Holy Fathers for their reliquaries. See this relic of my flesh desecrated by this emerald Indians died for that I never wore in life. Do you see this spot? Here he came to me, and it was sweetness. What do you think was that fragrance lingering in my inviolate body that so drew the clerics? His fragrance in me. You call me Santa. What did I do? All I wanted was to fight the Moors, like in the romances of chivalry, and to have a swain rescue me from the crenellated heights. I was just a woman whose dream came true. Yes, yes.
Gracias. Okay, Ron Bremer, please mute. Welcome.
Welcome. I love these captions. They changed my name from Scottish to German, from Bremner to Bremer. They changed Patricia Carrigan to an Irish woman, Kerrigan, and they changed Ron Comb to the comb that you comb your hair. So really great. Anyway, this is on page 53 of the anthology, and I really love being in the anthology. It's the one of the best publications of the year. Impacts persist. They test the limits of opening doors. Unknown doors open, teaching us. Possible windows reframe the dimensions of comprehension as if defined by growing ideas. Unbelievable ideas burn bushes that speak, striking the awe that approaches. Form and context overwhelm. Your sometimes words glide in night and glimmer in the day. Your spectral voices reappear as bodies prospecting for tomorrow. I gain a glance into the incalculable mathematics of incongruities. You say you'll help me to construct glaciers that move currents and structures that coalesce events, spreading shards of continents, connecting mountains to the sea. And suddenly, I conquer new fears and explore vistas. Gone is the unseen. Untapped scenarios reemerge and remind that despite all that we've lost, we have new worlds to discover. Thank you and have a pleasant afternoon.
Thank you again. Okay, after the second round, we're gonna have we're gonna end with the open mic. When we do the open round, so we're gonna have Peter Kozlowski, Beth S.K. Morris, Bertha Rogers, Bobby Sauce, Josephine LeRae, Charlie Cobain, Amira Mitra. Amira here?
Yes.
Okay, do you want to read
Yes.
now or do you want to read late? Are you able to stay?
I am able to stay, yes.
Okay.
Can
So
you hear me?
Last round, and Anaya Baker, yes, and Joni's here, so they'll read in the last round. That'll be the end. Okay, we're going to start with our spotlight readers. We're going to have Austin Alexis. These are the Pushcart nominees. Austin Alexis, Brian Franco, Claudia Soria, Cynthia Manick, Edward S. Galt, Kim Brandon, and we're going to end with our guest poet to Susan Giustiano, Rescue Poetics. Austin, please unmute and share.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Patricia and Roxanne and Carrie and everyone else involved in the Brownstone Poets anthology. Do you want me to read just the poem from the anthology now?
You can read, no, yeah, that's 6 minutes. Do
so I
whatever
can
you
read.
want. It's your 6
Okay.
minutes.
Well, I'll start with the poem from the anthology. Hydro. The hydro chair is truly a bed. In addition, the hydro massage bed performs. How else to describe its gyrations, its shiny flake leather surface undulating in lewd rhythms? Stationed in a gym's alcove, it stars in a lusty movie, making its own pizzazz. Alive, it is a giant creased tongue, all moisture and ripples. Sweaty, it's a fever dream made visible. A substitute for love is what it is not. And so now I'll read a poem from my new book, The Whirlpool Bath, published by Kelsey Books. It's available through the Kelsey Books website and through Amazon, and I'll put it in the chat. It starts with a series of poems that are inspired by the gym experience, going to the gym, what's at the gym. So this is one of those poems from that series at the beginning of the book. The cycling room, stationary, but moving with the effort of numerous energetic limbs, the bikes command the space. Here we hear the hissing of their myriad wheels whizzing in unison, symphonic. Here we see the reflections from glass walls and mirrored panels glinting through the air. We peer across the area and are stared at amorously by other eager cyclists. Their kinky thoughts engine their leggy momentum. We are desperate that our exercise does not end up futile. Is our pumping in vain? We huff out of breath like a body becoming a corpse. When we die, will it matter that we bike 3 miles per day? Fierce air conditioning fails to keep our simmering hormones in check. Dim lighting and constant motion make us desire desire itself. In this ventilated environment, we want to have the hots. We are spinning our legs, going fast to nowhere, as the planet in its journey rotates to face the same damn direction. Our feet stay strapped on plastic pedals, the way our bodies obey the globe's gooey gravity. We don't float off into seductive deep space where the allure of oblivion awaits. We don't float off into the loneliness that only gyms elicit. Now that the cycling room has offered its own version of romance. Thank you. Do I have more time?
Yeah, I have 2 minutes,
Oh,
but it's up to you.
okay. Well, if I have 2 minutes, maybe I'll read the first poem in the book. And the title of the poem is part of the first line. The weights room smells like swamp. Decaying weeds, dead toads, ponds fuming from a heat wave. Sounds like an underwater world where noises are shy and dreamlike and smothered. The weight of competition is heavy as I pump and press the dumbbell up. Too many times it has crashed down on my chest, causing me to bite my mucous membrane, to taste my tongue's blood. I find the weights room trying. My feet jockstrapped tight in sneakers, Sudan heated, Congo hot. My waist pinched by a Velcro band. I climb available steps up to the normality of stationary bikes, treadmills, and stretch mats, a different dimension where the world of bulky, heavy muscles and grunting bodybuilders vanishes like an erection, deprived of testosterone. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Next up is Brian Franco. Please unmute and share. And after Brian, we're gonna have Claudia, and after Claudia, we're gonna have Kim Brandon. Take it away, Brian.
Thank you, Patricia. First, I want to say, Austin, I'm very upset that I've never crossed paths with you before. I really enjoyed your poetry, and I love the cadence of your voice.
Thank you.
So this first piece is the piece that was in the Brownstone anthology, In Utero Felony. I was born a twin. My twin was born still. Like most twins, we were preemies. I was the size of a small delicata squash. My brother was more like a malnourished mini mango. A fetus can't make a decision, but I did. I decided not to share. I decided to deprive my brother of nutrition and attention. When Mom put her hands on her belly, I put mine on his face and pushed him away so he wouldn't feel the warmth of her hands or her pulse traveling through her fingers. When Dad tried to talk to us through Mom's belly, I put my brother in a leg formation headlock with my calves covering his ear. When Dad sang, I squeezed tighter. On my own, I made these decisions. My two older brothers were unable to counsel me. My parents had no idea there were two of us. I stole a son from my parents. I stole a brother from my brothers. I stole a best friend from myself. I never got the chance to feel his pain when he stubbed his toe miles away from me. We never stood together against Mom to proclaim we would never dress alike again. We never secretly traded dates before a sock hop. We would have been identical, but we never looked alike. That was my fault. My brothers know nothing about this. My father died before I found out. My mother has yet to tell me. I figured it out all by myself. And this piece was in the Norwalk Poetry Workshop anthology. It's called The Final Renunciation of a Citizenship. She stared at the home she was raised in, a home her father carved from swampy woodland, a place that should not feel foreign to her but did. Her mother passed 3 years prior from emphysema, diagnosed over 30 years after quitting smoking. Her father remained there. She asked him to move in with her and the kids. He declined. He needed the familiarity of this structure, much of which came from trees on the land. The wide plank pecan wood floors were a slight pinkish color that qualified as muted rust. The rough-hewn ponderosa pine walls felt and looked like cedar, but smelled sweeter. The porch railing, which was originally metal, was replaced with crepe myrtle branches harvested from trees her mom asked her dad to plant that he crepe murdered 3 years later. He committed crepe murder every other year since and fashioned branches into canes he gave as gifts to elderly friends and relatives or sold at the church holiday bazaar. This now empty home was a rebirth of things taken from the land. Now empty of both her parents' furniture and bric-a-brac, she relinquished its future to a real estate agent. She walked across the floors. She ran her fingers along the walls. The stairs still had a telltale squeak on the fourth to last step. After she realized the hand-scrolled molding in her childhood bedroom was a love letter from father to daughter, its memory would sweeten her sleeping dreams for years. And this was recently in Multi-Stories and Other Projects, which was curated by Finn Hall in Scotland. It's called A Brief History of Human Spirituality. Thousands of years ago, people were born with only one ear. The ear was created to replace a third eye. The gods or the spirits or Gaia decided human beings having third eyes was a wasted privilege. There was no need for hearing when we had third eyes, but suddenly we were functionally blind and needed a new sense to keep us sensible. We heard birds that sang sweet songs, but some birds screeched like banshees. Wind, rain, and thunder became noises that forced us to stay in our caves. This new sense we possessed held anxiety, something altogether new, something that confounded minds beyond the basic purpose of brains. Taking away our third eyes created psychology. Being able to hear the world around us created chaos. So the gods or the spirits or Gaia added an extra ear to balance our behavior. Of course, noses came next, which allowed us to understand we can stink. Then we opened our mouths to express our disgust, which led to speech, which led to language, which led to opinions, which led to trying to make sense of stuff that made no sense, which became belief. And finally, this is called The Real Reason the Pyramids Were Built. I was told a decision I made could unravel my future, but time, aka past, present, and future, is in a constant state of flux. Present becomes past once future happens. This cycle continues on a moment-by-moment basis ad infinitum. Think of time as a ball of yarn with just enough yarn to roll down the side of a Giza pyramid. One end of the ball of yarn is attached to a post at the top of the pyramid. As it rolls down the side of the pyramid, unraveling, a waggly-tailed Labrador retriever impatiently awaits its arrival because its owner had soaked a tennis ball in beef broth, let it dry out, then threaded and wrapped enough yarn to roll down the side of a Giza pyramid around the ball. As the ball of yarn unraveled, the desert wind sent the scent of beef to the dog. When the tennis ball arrived, the dog grabbed the ball in its mouth and pulled it till the final length of yarn exited the ball. Think of the complete ball of yarn as the past, which turned into the present as it unraveled, then finally became the future when the dog started gnawing at it. So if someone ever tells you a mistake you made could unravel your future, tell them the physics of time disallows for the future to unravel. Thank you.
You so much. Beautiful. Okay, next up we have Claudia Soria. Take it away.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you for being here and thank you for spending your Saturday afternoon with our poems. And thank you, Patricia and Roxanne, for including my poem in the anthology and organizing this reading. It was lovely to hear everyone's poem so far. I'm looking forward to hearing more. I want to start with the poem from the anthology, Waiting for the Traffic Light to Change. In the middle of the city, a cut opens and the passers-by peer inside. A breakup, the death of a cat, someone got laid off, or their dad didn't make it through the night. I don't give a damn, the man yells in the crowd, waiting for the traffic light to change. The woman next to him walks slowly, crying, surrounded by people who carry diagnoses, conflicts, grief, folded, piled, stapled, or stacked in handbags, briefcases, and pockets. Inadvertent voyeurs, we witness this asphalt and gravel. Those pebble-like feelings bothering the shoes, those tears, shed or unshed. We wait in a compact herd for a sign, anything to say this makes sense. The light turns green and we walk on. So I immigrated to the United States from Romania in 1995 on a diversity visa, and this is a poem about that diversity visa. When it carried our lives inside, how could the envelope be so small? We laughed and joked that we'd sleep under the Brooklyn Bridge. We'd eat a donut a day. We wondered if the New York streets would be dirty and crowded and paved with reams. Would there be dogs with bagels up their tails? Would there be beautiful people like in the movies? Or would our life be a Seinfeld episode about nothing? Better poor in America than in Romania, we said. Would you do it again, you ask? With you, I answer, anytime. So I want to read a couple of newer ones. This is one titled Inside the Snow Globe. Snowflakes fall like the faces of everyone we ever meet, a blizzard of crowds. And each snowflake reminds me of us in our younger years. The way we floated so unsure from the sky and clung to hair and lashes, looking for a safe place to land, looking for ourselves. If time were tangible, it would be made of snowflakes, falling, all those years falling through us, peeling from us, piling in drifts outside our windows. Come closer, love, and leave the lights off. Come close to the window and let's look at all the years falling. Put on the kettle and listen, love, to the whispers, the blizzard of our blood. This one is titled Vacuuming Before the Holidays. I'm amazed how much dust gathers in rugs, on furniture, in corners, under shelves, and in the floor. Dust and spider webs, gray, sticky, and sprawling, entire cities of dust, in crevices and creases, those places no one notices. I know something about those places. I remember when I was little, I told my mother, who was trying to paint a straight line on the kitchen wall, "Mommy, I see mountains and valleys and crevices that don't even notice." "But I notice them," she said, "and they drive me nuts because I'm making them with my shaky hands. So much dust in so many mountains and valleys inside my house makes me laugh at that memory when I sweep, vacuum, and beat it out from crevices, baseboards, and rugs. And I'm a firm believer that nature never does anything gratuitous and nothing goes to waste. What then is the purpose of dust? Why does it exist and why so much of it? So there is something for plants to root in when they take over the mountains, valleys, and crevices. So we have something to return to, my daughter says. Now, since I mentioned my daughter, these are a couple of poems with her in the city. Into the wilderness. Wilderness is a beautiful meadow, you say, on top of a mountain where you can see the feet of God. Yeah, but you shouldn't romanticize that, I say, because a black bear might wait on the other side of the meadow, and he might reach you in 2 leaps and maul you near the feet of God. We walk through the meadows of East 5th Street, East 2nd, the dark caves of Delancey, the Lower East Side lairs, passing by beautiful men with raccoons sleeping on their heads. This could be one of those games where you add near the feet of God to everything, I say. It's a cold, windy day. Women wear rabbits and foxes. One is dressed head to toe in black fur. Whatever she killed, you say. And I'll close with at nightfall, thousands of women undress at the same time in their houses. As the day undresses, letting go of light, taking off its garments of wind and birdsong bracelets, I too undress in the river of women with swollen feet who get home tired, throw away the heavy handbags, kick off the unnecessary shoes, untie belts, wipe off their makeup, and undo their hair. Thousands of women in their own bedrooms, standing in front of their mirrors, overflowing, careless, free. I take off my stockings, socks, place my constellation of hoops and rings in a shallow, small plate on the nightstand, unbutton the unforgiving pants and tight blouse, unclench the brow, loosening the moonlit flesh, letting the low moon and a handful of stars pass through my chest, brush against the gilded ribs, to the dark and quiet place where they stay overnight, glinting only for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Claudia. Thank you. And next up, we're going to have Kim Brandon. Take it away.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Patricia, and everybody at Brownstone Poets. Yeah, just wonderful to be a part of this community. I'm going to start with my first poem, and most of the poems have a parenting theme, but they're not the same person. It's just different parenting poems. And so the first one is Mama Stood with the Fire. Before morning, she had set her marital bed afire, ignited the flames with her own hand. And if he, the father, was lucky to feel the heat and rise up, or if there was a deep enough kiss of smoke to choke him awake, always nodding, half asleep, one eye open, switching from eye to keep watch, he'd smother the flames with his blanket and his body. But if he was not fast enough, and if the fire was not small enough, the children would form a brigade with containers from pots to buckets to cut off bleach bottles. The bottles were full and at the ready at the feet of the children's beds. Sometimes the drapes and the plywood door would catch before they could capture and beat down the night light of flames. They had grown used to smoke and blackness, the char around the edges of safety. They had become accustomed to water, to dampness, to everything, even the bread in the cereal boxes being wet. One night, it was she, the mother, that woke her babies, ushered them to the front window, pulled back the tattered drapes. There, the house across the street had gone up in flames. It was burning to the ground as the siren sounds grew deadening. The red and white lights of emergency engines flash danced in wide open children's faces. Look, look, y'all, look, the mother pointed. You won't ever see anything more beautiful in your whole life. Now look at that fire. Here's another poem. Time for another love poem. Time to get my big old love out the pawn shop. Time to collect bottles and cans and for 5-cent deposits. Before time is up, before somebody buys my sweet love, before they repurpose my joy, before they strip off the patina, mistaking it for dirt. So now I want to read the poem from the anthology. Thank you for publishing it. I remember when my father stopped holding my hand. Before he stopped calling me his little man, he started taking bigger, wider, faster steps. His eyes did not follow my smaller feet anymore, looking to see if something might jump up and trip me. He was looking forward more. He was looking forward more than looking down into my eyes. Then he took the candy milk honey off his tongue. I could feel that I was expected to grow up fast. Now there were all these serious warnings, son. Things to look out for, son. Things to be aware of, son. Things like invisible redliners, son, and gentrifiers, son, and those who bleed blue that might pop out of the cracked cement sidewalks, son. Whole groups of people who will twist my reflection in their minds, fold us up into boogie monsters, and fast cash and rigged slot machines. Only I wanted him to carry me. I wanted him to pick me up and to hug me. I wanted him to walk beside me always. I wanted him to say, everything is going to be all right. I wanted to be his big boy. I wanted to be his little man. I wanted to brace myself for a world of hurt. I wanted to drop my father's hand before he dropped mine. And this is my last poem. And this poem I wrote, and it's dedicated to Toni Morrison. And it's a part of an anthology, Baby Shugs and the Purple Butterfly, that came out, I think, the year before last now. And so if anybody knows the anthology, Baby Shugs was like this preacher, minister lady for enslaved people. May I laugh too for Baby Shugs. There was before, and now there's only this right here. I was somebody once. Always before I know it, a feeling so strong come on me, like they're gonna call me by my name. I'm gonna whip around and see them, remembering me, remembering a place, remembering a time, remembering a smell. Then I'm gonna remember all that came in the before. I'm going to remember a full stomach, a soft mat on the floor before being stolen and ripped apart and left for dead. So on Sunday, when Baby Shug says for us women to weep, I was already weeping. Low like, deeper than all that wailing. That morning, I wish somehow she says for us women to laugh and to laugh loud, laugh until my belly shook like blueberry jam. 'Cause I got me this feeling, see? I got me this feeling that laughing might sound like my name. And if I heard my name, maybe I would remember the before. Who I belonged to once when I belonged to a mama or somebody special. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay, we have to move on to, okay, who's next here? We have Cynthia Manick. Take it away.
Hey everyone, thank you for having me. I'm going to read 3 poems. The first is actually a praise poem to Vicks Vapor Rub. It's that time of the year, each culture uses it. Okay, this poem is called Praise Poem for Vapor Rub Half Emptied. Praise the glassy-eyed me, the crimson path between throat and diaphragm, the light trail between nose and clavicle. Praise the childhood in my mouth. Sunday morning cartoons under a stripe-stained blanket where the Smurfs look extra blue and cherry today. Praise the Monday telenovelas where a twin slept with a doctor who is married to the other twin. Praise the aunties with spurred or calloused feet and the best hands for brow, onion broth, and gossip. Praise the mothers who light no candle in grief. Instead, they pull a side drawer off its track for garlic tinctures and blue bottles half empty. Praise the blue bottle is text smeared by lined fingers year after year after year. Praise the blue bottle with no label at all, just a fire waiting to be scooped and spread over into a nest of trying. Praise the steam-stubborn towel that bakes us in, completes its job, and holds us hostage. Praise Vicks and any off-brand vapor rub for making our bodies remember how to breathe and how to love. This next poem is actually in the anthology, so thank you, Patricia, for publishing it. This poem is a haibon. If you don't know, a haibon is a prose on top and ends with a haiku. This poem is called The Shapes of Grief, a haibon. Have you ever breathed so deep the diaphragm talks to a river? At first, I thought my mother wanted us to be quiet together, the way one deals with ruin that's not a dream. But instead, she asked to watch another online funeral for someone in the South, the second in a month. In my head, I call them death parades with no floats or pretzel bites. A procession of southern shapes, bowed heads, hats, a line of crows on a telephone wire. The mythology of grief is held in photos, sickle-shaped spines, or the constant gasp of one's own seeing. So I open my eyes, wanting to look down to see a hock joint or rooster feet, something not me without language. But no, I breathe until I'm called not daughter, but sanctuary. My apartment bandwidth fills with lyrics my mother could mouth in her sleep. To an audience of one, she provides ceremonial commentary. Susie May looks so big now. Has she stopped walking to the mailbox? That pastor needs a towel for his face. No one wants a sweaty pulpit. In the lower register, like they can hear her. Secret daughter no one talks about. She jokes, but trailing inside sentences, eyes are alive and a little furious. No sermon Rooted enough has hands for all these watchers. We shape brief out with a honed bird's beak knife. It sounds like the color blue. So I'm going to end with a poem from No Sleep Without Brine. I'll put the link in the chat. This poem is actually called B-Side Testimonials. B-Side Testimonials. I want to testify that the aunties were right. They were right about having a spare $40 tucked in the rattiest bra you own, to keep it there, months in, no years in, just in case a bloom goes sour and you gotta fly on the Greyhound for yourself or someone else. They're right about how an onion bulb can save a half-priced Cornish hen, about Sunday parsley and paprika. Ask your man if and when he can taste either. I want to testify that sometimes you gotta do battle with your scalp, the reflection in the mirror, then your hair. Create a salve of lavender, peppermint, and red castor oil. Don't rub it in like it's a sin or stain you gotta colonize. Remember, you're doing root work. Don't be afraid of the halo your head can make. Let it be a sonnet, dark as bright as Van Gogh's Starry Night. And yes, you know Van Gogh. I want to testify that I want more poems about pH balances and my cobalt x-rays of fibroids that look like honey glazed cakes. How our body learns to accept the mass incarceration, intrusion. I wish they were retractable gills or a coral storm gift for some fantastical purpose. I want to testify that there ain't no glory in being quiet and dignified. I want to testify that aging is a motherfucker. I want to testify that I'm done with tasting allergies in my mouth. Instead, I think of the 79 moons of Saturn. Give them proper names like Cletus, Chantal, and Ponyboy. I want to testify that my fortune has not been told, despite the world hurting my curves to an end. I see the future unfolding like an old school card catalog, each card filled with dates, a shuffling of titles, and days with lines pointing to all corners of the world, a diagram of humming blood relations, each card smelling like a recipe, a version of home. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. Okay, next up, we're going to have Edward S. Gold. Please unmute and share.
Okay, thank you. This one is the one that was published in the anthology, and it's called Ricky and Melanie. Each morning, I watched the way Ricky's mother brought him out to the bus. She held his arm as he slowly descended the stairs and walked in a sort of limp. He wore a bike helmet in case he should fall. He wore thick glasses and a hearing aid. He couldn't speak. When they got him on the bus, he would sit by the window of the first seat with Melanie. It was a long ride, so the two had a lot of time to get to know each other. Through reading lips or hand gestures, Melanie came to understand him. Over the course of the year, she sat next to him, mastering his language, discovering who he was. One day, his mother came out of the house and down to the bus alone. She told the driver Ricky was in the hospital for a little while. From then on, Melanie sat alone in the front seat, looking out the window on the long ride to and from school each day, until one morning his mother came out again, said something to the driver. Melanie began to cry, and we understood that we would not be seeing Ricky again. That was Melanie and Ricky. Ricky and Melanie. And now, um, this next one is called Eviction. The lawyer was silhouetted against the light from the window behind the judge. I remember him hoisting his file cabinet-sized briefcase upon the table in front of him, a burly hand gripping the handle. It was a big hand. I represent landlords in their claims against tenants, he said. I could not see his face, just the hand and that big briefcase. A woman stood at the bar, a little girl in tow, her hair held back with a heart barrette. She explained that she had lost her job, but that she was doing everything she could to pay the rent. She said that she even sold her car to pay the landlord what she owed him. She said this a number of times at the trial, but she didn't have a cabinet-sized briefcase. She had small, delicate hands and a soft voice. Soft voices weren't being heard in court that day. So let's see if I can bring up something a little happier. um, this one's this one here I'll keep you for the holidays. It's called Holiday Food. Holiday leftovers are tricky business. I could never get away with raiding the fridge at night, so I have to wait for all the others to leave before I can begin to rustle in the fridge to get at the turkey. Here is the tricky part: how to leave just enough so that no one knows that anything was ever taken out. When supper is being prepared, there is just enough. Factor in that everyone else is going to be doing this. Picking, then leaving just enough. We had all done such a superb job of this that when my wife pulled out the container a week later, it was still 3/4 full. The question was, could we still eat it? It didn't seem too bad at first, but as I was retching over the sink, I prayed for the sweet mercy of death. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Edward. It's fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Okay, next up, we're going to end this segment with Susan Justiana, Rescue Poetics. Take it away.
Thank you, everyone. Such a pleasure and honor to be here and to be the Brownstone Poets 2026, or is it 2025 guest poet. Abuelita, thank you for rooting in me pan sobao, mantequilla, y café con leche. Sitting on your lap at the age of 5, I learned how those intense and amazing flavors, textures, and scents created core memories. This was our time, rarely visited at the long dining table next to El Chinero, mantel y plástico hugging the 12-seat oval. Dark wood of high-backed ornate cushioned chairs echoing the caramel hues of bustelo y lechipoti. Pan de manteca, sitting on its white sleeve, bakery letters in red, plastic twist tie bag, cast aside for later if any remains. Mantequilla, half melted, half hard, holding onto the pockets of white baked goodness, crunchy shell leaving bread chips behind. In those moments, which can never be recreated, I learned to love butter and bread, soaked in café con leche. I learned to savor the mush when dipped for too long, speckles of butter dancing around the rim of the mug. Although the bakeries are no longer there, and the bread doesn't quite taste the same, to this day I dunk el bollo de pan, if only once, Saludos, abuelita, con mucho amor. Poem. El Chinero. The plates sit stacked as if born of each other, hugging and hiding chips and faded patterns. In their design, they silently reveal the histories of hands, wrinkled and work-worn, as they are passed from generation to generation, table to table, memories of viviendas. Secrets imparted in the clink of a fork, stirring words in matching cups of expressive aromas, closed in, stacked, sorrows on damaged surfaces, additions of families, changes in positions, people move on, platos nuevos, platos diferentes, diseños diferentes, new chips and cracks, fine lines connecting from one to the next, una a lo demás, touching and creating new memories, silenced by the distinctive click of the framed glass doors until the next celebration, until the next special occasion. Historias capturadas en llantas descoloradas, pasando, compartido, passed on and passed through in the bones of each plate. Poem. Emergence of a Dragonfly, inspired by Ida Limon. Like the myth that dragonflies live for a day, months and years go by to complete cycles unseen, leaving one life behind for another, discovering what flies and what fits in the newly bejeweled wings, layers deep, flying backwards, away from what no longer serves. Molting is a natural process, making way for new growth, time and again, reinvention adds to the myth that I am as I was once, catching moments along the way, slowing to understand that what sticks doesn't always remain, fluttering about, not always with clear vision. When things pass, they are past and remain there. Moving in 6 directions lends to doubt falling away, so fleeting the time of maturity and wisdom. Most of my life spent learning, rediscovering, reimagining that the now is more precious than what was. I've learned to be comfortable in all surroundings, on water, on earth, within me, not ready to land yet, still discovering what that means, prosperity, harmony, happiness, all the while eating the wind, while weighing the worth of my soul. Poem. Machinations of Sacred Silence. There is something sacred in silence, our harmonic understanding of the world, power to define our civilized selves, connections between us and them, the heart, the first them, currents fleeting and fitting and feeding the rest, flowing in and flow out, thump, 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 rushing through silence, confident, sure with its mission, need to reach them, the brain, structured them, externalizing power to systems that don't always give back, false witness to how we think the world is, rationalizing for them, the soul, the biggest them, succession of self, unpredictable in rebellion of them, always looking inward to change the outward. Sacred silence is busy. Poem. And my final piece here is the piece that's one of the pieces that's in the anthology. Living are parts of my identity, places cracked from being under pressure, folds that go dark from neglect, areas that have lost vibrant color from the constant draining, ideas that pretend not to be seen, dreams that fade from self-doubt, recriminations, regrets, rejections. Recriminations, regrets, rejections, constantly screaming, shattering the backbone of self, so loud that sometimes those seem like the most important bits. Each moment, each sacred moment, comets in dark vastness, colliding with broken pieces, pick them off, make room for stronger, turning misfires into focused thought. Somewhere inside, a voice compels me to keep them, those broken bits. I know better. To live myself, my true self, they need to go. I'll spend half of every moment ensuring it, rearranging the vulnerable raw bits as they become strong. Living in a shadow is not a life. Cowering behind pain is less so. Feeding on scraps others say I am worth only sharpens my hunger. A lifetime commitment to find myself, not where I fit with others. That may never happen. I need to fit myself into the uniqueness of me to live. I must give breath to all the parts that make me, steal it if I have to, claim air where I stand, practice my voice, fill my lungs with the capacity of me, swim into my chaos, know when to breathe in and when to breathe out, know how to breathe in and breathe out. It's all new. The abyss of identity until I live there. Thank you. Such a pleasure and honor to be here amongst so many talented people and to be part of the end of year celebration.
Thank you again, everybody. We're going to go into our intermission right now, and we're going to come back with the staff members. That's Carrie Magnus Radner, Jack Cooper, Elizabeth B. Moss, who's our new staff member. Thank you. Elizabeth Moss, we have Mega Sood, myself and Roxanne, and the rest of the open mic, who will be Sarah Sarai, Peter Kozlowski, Beth S.K. Morris, Bertha Rogers, Harvey Sauce, Josephine Loray, Charlie Colbean, Amira Mitra, Anaya Baker, and Joni Heiger Zoski.
HF Sozika.
I can't pronounce this, sorry. I'm not a language person.
I'll teach you someday.
Well, it's going to take me a while.
After your vacation.
Please. It's been 2025. I just want to forget about. Horrible year. Okay, so we're going to take a break. Unmute, you can schmooze. And who is that phone number? Please unmute and then introduce yourself because maybe you want to read. Hello?
The line is engaged.
Whatever. Okay, I don't.
Patricia, are those bat wings or what?
No, these are antlers.
Oh, antlers. Oh, I see.
Got it at I think it was Walgreens or Rite Aid. I forgot where.
They are wonderful. I love
They are
them.
very nice.
I have to get in the holiday spirit because
I need some.
It's been a
Antlers,
real
not spirit.
year.
But your
Especially
nose,
this past summer. This
your
summer
nose
has been
is
really
not red.
I hate this summer. And I hate dentists.
You hate what?
Dentists. They should all die.
Oh yeah. That's the tooth.
Yeah.
Well, don't you feel like you're in the land of the misfit toys now?
Patricia.
I just hate what was done to me as a child. My parents did nothing. The guy was just drilling away to collect money to go on his wonderful vacations. He used to post Dr. Stoller. Yeah, Stoller.
Yeah.
How apropos his name was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ruined my mouth.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's what they did. My parents did nothing to stop it. I said, why do they keep doing this? Yeah, listen, it's the dentist. That's right. Authority. That's right. The teachers could mess you up, anything. And they did a real number on me. Well, hell with them now. They're probably dead anyway.
The dentist?
The old dentist I used to go
I,
It's just now it's all the repair work and all the crap, and insurance doesn't cover anymore.
sure.
I met life. I'm gonna go for a toodaloo to the loo.
Toodaloo.
Wow.
Wow. Right.
Hey, Roxanne, how are you?
I'm hanging
Darling
in there.
friend.
Yeah, hanging in.
All of us are.
Yeah, I just got my I'm back in school. I just got my life coach and NLP certification, and I'm going for
Wow, that's a big deal.
starting in February. Yeah, pretty intense.
It is a lot of hard work.
Yeah, but I think it'll pay off in terms of I'm going to help a lot of people, and I'm going to open it up with the NLP. You can really help people break, bad habits like procrastination and smoking, and stay on diets and kill things like writing block. So it's a good skill to have.
Sounds like a panacea degree.
Yes, but it's people have to be willing to want to try it.
What is it exactly? What is your area of specialization?
It's neuro-linguistic programming. It's
Oh,
like human
yeah.
real time.
Who are some of the
It's been around since the 70s. I mean,
Okay.
I had to learn some of this stuff when I was in corporate America. I learned some of these skills when I was working at Chase. But at that time, it was like, I didn't want to take the classes. My
how to
gun,
mesmerize people?
a gun was put to my head, like, you must take these classes. And I did. But I think the best class, the best memory I have of those classes was, kind of prepare myself if I had to give a presentation. At those days, I wasn't really happy to give a presentation. So we were told in the workshop to reimagine a memory of some time in which we were in the flow, where things were going very smoothly. And I remember this tennis, I was playing tennis with my best friend up on top of NYU when they had the old sports complex. We were up on the roof outside, and we were just rallying back and forth. And it was like we were able to just continue to do this for like hours without missing any of the shots, the lobes, the slams, no matter what happened, we just kept going. So I remember that instant. And it's like I'm there and I feel like everything's going really well. And then I give the talk. That's an example of neuro-linguistic programming.
Sounds wonderful. I wish I had had that before giving presentations, especially the ones
but
at
you can
7:30
basically
a.m. Wow.
Yeah, you can. So I would recommend you all do that. If you're dealing with something that you don't want to deal with, maybe before you go, think of some time when everything was perfect, everything was moving really well, and you can
Does it work with ping pong?
it works with anything. It works with anything. The silliest thing. It could just be a walk out with your dog, and it's just like a great walk with the dog. It doesn't have to be something super hard, but a moment in which you were feeling happy and on top of the world. You can just use that memory to tune into it, to feel that emotion, to override your anxiety. Very cool.
Oh, sounds very useful.
Well, what if you can't
Good
do
luck
two
with your
things at
program.
once?
I'm sorry. I'm
You do
running off for a
one
second.
thing at a time. One thing at a time. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff you can take there's a lot of neuro-linguistic programming books that are out that you can take from the library, but there are also a lot of classes you can take for free if you want to learn about it and use it on yourself.
I saw a reel recently of the Jefferson airplane playing while they were tripping.
Ah.
And it was kind of interesting because they kept focusing on their faces, which were sort of looking from somewhere else.
Right.
I'm wondering what that might be in terms of linguistic
Well,
programming.
I think the whole idea of neuro-linguistic programming is to have your subconscious work for you. So I think when you're,
So that might
stoned,
work.
when you're stoned, you're reconnecting with your subconscious.
Right.
Trying to. So that could be part of it.
Yeah.
I think that's why, and then a lot of creatives, like get drunk or whatever, or smoke a joint before they start creating. It's not something I do, but I know a lot of people do that because, I'm more inclined just to do it at this point.
What are other exercises do you suggest?
I think also one thing they say, like if you're having a conflicting conversation with someone, is to try to reframe it by taking it up a notch up to something that that people will agree on. So sometimes the argument is about the method or the particular technique, but you both want to have the same goal. So if you can get it to not be a feud by starting to address, well, we both want to save the world, or we both want peace. So let's figure out a way that maybe can work for both of us. So try to that's another method. So that's part of like what you would call influencing skills. That's a thought to just, rather than go head to head with somebody where you're not going to have common ground because you're talking about a specific tactic, try to raise the conversation up a notch. And then, try to, if there's something that you feel is a bad habit, usually you can't change a bad habit without substituting a good one. Sometimes what you have to do is kind of reimagine. Maybe you have, a bad habit of drinking soda too much or something like that, and you want to get rid of soda. So think about, you can think about the soda and how you feel in terms of like what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what you're tasting when you're enjoying that soda. And then you can think of something that you really don't want to drink, something which you find kind of putrid, and do the same visualization. Think about like how you feel about the thing you don't like,
Mhm.
And then this is more complicated. There's a whole script for this. That's why I'm saying I can send people the script. But then basically you take the thing that you like and you now try to view it the same way that you view the thing that you don't like. And voila, if you go through the exact script, you will not be drinking soda again. Because every time you'll think of the soda, you'll be thinking of that one thing you hate.
Oh.
Yeah. So a whole bunch of, I mean, very, very useful things that people can do, to just kind of help themselves move forward. And maybe this is now the time of year to do it because we're all thinking about our New Year's resolutions. Right? The ones that we know that we're going to give up by January 15th.
January 5th.
Yeah, maybe even sooner. Maybe even by the 2nd, we've already given up.
Well, it sounds like really good work, and I wish you a lot of luck with your furthering your education on it. It's really great. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of work. Good stuff, though. Good
Brave
stuff.
new work. Looks like we're regathering here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna restart the recording. I think we're almost ready to restart.
Well, we're on the record.
Yeah, hang on. I'm recording. Zoom.
Okay, we're back again. We're going to have the staff remainder of the Spotlight Readers. We're going to start with Carrie Magnus Radner. Carrie, unmute and share.
Hey, everybody. Wonderful to speak to all you guys. My first poem is from the anthology, page 12. It's called Cloudy Days. My memories and passwords are caught up in the cloud, so I don't have to forget things ever again. But then another cloud has invaded my house while I'm lying in bed. I used to wake up in the middle of the night in a feverish pleasure I would write. But now I'm hooked up to my BiPAP machine so I could breathe while I sleep. And the words are caught in the cloud. I sleep deeply and solve puzzles instead. I hand wash my dishes and launder the bed sheets, but I lost my confidence thanks to the damn cloud. And AI is stealing all the good words, and we have elected a dim-witted, cheese-colored monster who only sees storm clouds, and it's all the migrants' fault, and he shut down all the UI programs, and he's not a great friend to the gays and the women. And my deep-seated anger and boredom and anxiety and frustration is causing me to breathe heavily because all I see are cloudy days, and my work ideas lost in the clouds. All right. This poem is still evolving. I first wrote it like 2 years ago, and I'm still adding to it like 15 minutes ago. So we'll see how it goes. Persephone's winter break. Winter has been unseasonably warm these days because Persephone might be sojourning in New York, tending bar and mixing drinks. Or, as Tori Amos once said in her song, Pandora's Aquarium, she's checking her accounts. In these wet and heavy days, she is not missing her mother or her man. She's got non-holiday things to do. She's the real thing, baby. She's a tough lady, not frozen, trying to taste more umami and to drink more good wine. And in the odd moments, she tempts some weather havoc as she tries to find some inner peace. She just needs to rest, to recharge for the new year. Let's see. I wrote this 3 days ago. Keeping heart on a cold morning. Mornings are now full of shadows, as I notice upon the bed how the disconnected BiPAP tubing suddenly formed a heart on the comforter. I am suddenly comforted. Yes, the days are darkened. Yes, our times are hard. But love still manages to burrow itself in deeply, keeping us warm, comfortable, and safe from the bitter cold wind. One more? Or is that my time? Okay.
You have until, hold on. What time is it now? 3:51. You have until 3:54. You got a few more.
Okay, great.
Few more minutes.
Amazon. Amazon turns on and the believers frenziedly shop like there's no tomorrow. I remember when the name was only regulated to rainforests in South America, the mountains and plants, trees hugging the Rio Grande, and that was a naturally diverse area for wildlife. Is it still there now? Did the developers take it down? Oh, Amazon, I don't care for your drones or your opinions. I still use you to buy handy wipes and presents for my nieces and nephews. But a part of me wishes while I'm sanitizing my hands and wiping down the tables, I could have seen the real thing, the forest. I could have seen the world before the merchandising took it away. Yeah. One more. I usually, when I travel, a lot of the muse really talks to me. So this is Brooklyn Bridge and Henry Street. So goes back to Brooklyn. Youth dominates Brooklyn. They linger too long on the bridge taking selfies. They bounce in bouncy castles at block parties. Young Folks by Peter, Bjorn, and John was on full blast outside. The whistle was on point. And the old folks from the moonstruck brownstones were absent. Their houses are more than a century old. Most of them are empty. While the young families push their strollers outside in the sunshine at full speed, fathers and sons stop at the pharmacy for fudge sundaes, and cream, a biscuit, and strawberry compote at the soda fountain. I walk towards Carroll Gardens, feeling between the youth and the elders, but I still keep on walking, moving ahead. Thanks, everyone. Happy holidays.
Bye. Hey, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, next up we're going to have is from Paris, from France, Jacques Cooper.
Okay. Am I?
Yes.
Okay.
Oui.
The Jack Cooper game from Paris. Berlin. Autumn sweeps the Berlin streets, going by on the sidewalk below. An intermittent conversation between that which has gone and what to come. I eavesdrop above its head, listen in on my soul, which pauses the while it yearns for something more, or else to know. And the anthology, love the cover.
Thank you for the cover.
My poem on page 34, Ace, just an epigraph from Steve Winwood. You see a chance, take it. At the root of all my sadness thrives a seed I can neither hear nor ever know to visualize, nor even feel, despite its potency. It lies too deep for tears. Let do anything but die. Shrivel while lived in mute expectancy. Return nothing to the world, exchanged for sighs. The poor, worn heart on the outside break, as waves, a cove, undiscovered, breached, invisibly, conceals that ace. Fear hides up this sleeve. And that's, I guess, the face card for long sleeve. I need to follow my unconscious. It provides the leads. And since it has been with me from the beginning, containing all whom I loved at the start, I should trust it. It is the underlying part, the figure of my soul. So never mind the ladies and gentlemen come lately, can only interfere. I feel and see and bleed from the heart. I am its jack, a knave, so be it. I have stood kings and queens long enough, and nobody holds the ace who does not keep it tucked up a sleeve.
Mm.
So let's see, what else was I going to do? This solstice, fumbling blind, importunate discovery, impetuously uncovered. What precisely can we but trust, not wholly misapprehend, only strive obscurely, suspicious of expect? That uncertainty arrived at last in total darkness. Come home, fellow shining, silver, wet, visible through rain. Patricia, have I more time?
Okay, hold on, let me see. Yeah, you made it. You made it. You just made it.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Then I thought I would do this, which is called
Is it very short? Yeah, just a
yeah,
very
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
The
cool.
wee hours, spelled W-E-E. Blooms of impatience, and my lady in the rooms, candles and incense, slippers, and the stealth of her rare perfumes. Her golden cat, an aureole of Persian hair, one paw resting on the arm, languished in a chair. She spoke of Tchaikovsky I had missed. She spoke of Brahms. I preferred Ravel, whose strings still trembled in the air. the eyes I kissed, her arms, her love, the temperament of cocoa that still, she said, was warm. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, now we're going to move on to more people are coming in. I can see that for the open. We're going to go to Elizabeth B. Moss, my new staff member. Take it away.
Thank you, Patricia, and wonderful poetry. First poem I'm going to read is from the anthology. So, okay. Snow. Intricate roots call me, spreading their wisdom like spirited wind. Snow brings new weather through the iron gates of the churchyard. Tiny stars catch in branches, then turn to bits of ice. With gloved hands, children giggle as they throw snowballs. The wisdom of roots is buried in an unknown language, one that luminescent angels translate and speak through ice. I call on the stars for help and listen while they send celestial crystals. Children build snow bears and dogs that guard the gates at sunset. Intricate tree branches overhead speak like lace and spread peace everywhere. My mother's travels. My mother traveled the road of history, and she barely even drove. Vehicular violence is so American, she said, like rhubarb pie or unrestricted guns. Did transportation schedules move backwards? My mother made sure that they did. She was the tour guide, the acting professor, explaining reflections in the road, transportation to both lighter and darker eras. The hours whirred faster and faster, even snagging a speeding ticket. Vehicles slid backwards onto dirt roads. My mother is now history, like the outdated train and bus schedules kept in her purse. She was a reflection in the road, her surviving wisdom viewed off. Years together. The moon lightly stains the morning sky. Yellow topaz light streams through the trees. You never would have come with me, although you always brought coffee. I held your fingers as we walked to your car, you telling me about distant streets and mosques. These are the fingers that cut, that healed, after you told patients with gunshot wounds to hope. You were astonished when I told you we would have to live separately. Too many trips to Atlantic City. You did the pro bono work I told you not to do, and the pandemic killed you. You were kinder than me and more self-sacrificing. You gambled with everything, day and night, life and death. In love with excitement, you were unfaithful to me. You gambled with everything. When you were young, the streets of Istanbul enticed you to wander. A trauma surgeon, you secured a residency in the States. Had to leave, they said, because you partied with the wrong party. As a medical student, you spent way too much time at the Soviet embassy. I held your fingers as we walked to your car. For so many years after, I loved you. Now I think of you here on the path by the river. 10 years together and 10 years apart. Do I have time for one more?
Uh,
No?
yeah.
Okay. Right. Slices of time. I dream of a narrow hallway with chandeliers, one after another, an infinite series, an Escher drawing. I am sitting on the front stoop, wishing for slices of time. I have passed this building year after year, looking through glass in the front door and seeing the chandeliers against the dark walls and ceiling. It was near here that I took my son to a playground with sprinklers, then to his science school. Back then, all was well with the world. I dream of lights dotting the night sky, stars, planes, and decorations. I walk briskly past restaurants with low lights and elegant store displays of white coats I will never wear and sneakers I will never put on my feet. But there is luminescent possibility, the probability of hope drawn in lighted numbers. I dream of beginnings and endings, of sweaters unraveling and fabric being sewn. There are bits of glass on the sidewalk in front of a movie theaters and shreds of dreaded time drifting from the door of a bodega. I look at fading numbers on my watch. I have walked down this street year after year, no matter what happened. Death too young, broken bones, birthdays, graduations, new jobs and apartments. And I will keep on walking until I finally can't.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Mega, you're on.
Thank you so much, Patricia. And before I start my reading, I want to congratulate everyone, the 62 contributors who are part of this anthology. And on behalf of the editing team, me, Carrie, and our editor-in-chief, Patricia Carrigan, it's not only an honor and privilege to read your beautiful writings, but it also enriches me as a poet. So I'm going to begin my reading. I'm going to be reading 3 poems. First is from an anthology, and this is called Desire and Its Haunting. Desire and Its Haunting. They call us animals, those who think they hold a lien to our souls for this haunting, for this incessant wanting that lives and births every second in this sinful soul of mine, only to be judged by those exalted gods in heaven, the slithering, intertwining hunger for the flesh, a desire that turns its wanting into love. Our desires birth the fire of life, the plinth of our existence, the effervescent of the small wants that exists in every nook and cranny of your wrinkles, those small marks at the back of your neck, catching the apricity of the kind summer sun, the one and the only thing that sits and sings softly with a moan in the soft pink bosom of our longing and wants. The one that calls your name in the thicket of the night, the one like a brightly burning star as it reaches its death, like the dazzling collective dance of monarch as we put our innocent wishes on its wings. How fragile is this love! How tender is its existence! Like a penny clutched in the soft palms of a kid caught in the sheer excitement of holding and letting that red balloon go. And I'm going to read, thank you so much. I'm going to read 2 more poems from my latest poetry collection, Language of the Wound is Love, which got published this year by Flower Song Press in February. The first poem is called The Beautiful Death Around Us, and it's based on the invasive species, the lanternfly, emerging in the summer of 22, and it still does in the eastern part of the United States. I have been taught by my granny to always help an animal in need, even an insect, a monarch with broken wings fluttering in the shining mud, shining bravely in the precipice of the city, stopping us in our tracks. I hold it gently in the center of my palms like an infant, cuddling its existence with all my warmth, and tends to its broken wings till it can fly. One day, a small-breasted warbler crashed against the blinding windows of my high-rise and fell on the balcony. Death is a shining thing. It draws you in like a Pied Piper, a shining penny half covered in a roll of hay. I tend to its broken wings and wait feverishly for it to open its eyes. Numerous tales of kindness and humility come back to me rushing, when sometimes kindness becomes a stranger to me. These days are strange. The year is strange. Death and dying have been given a new name. The normal has been anointed again. And yet again there is an invasive species, as beautiful as a dream, the thicket of the night with its spotted wings and its fiery abdomen. A spotted lanternfly. And the message that it brings for us is, when you see it, kill it. What a terrible act of survival. It's either them or us. The existence is beautiful and yet so devastating. Sometimes I feel how much kindness is left inside this withering soul of mine that can kill a living being with all its might. Thank you. The last one I'm going to read is called Rise. Rise. Rise above the opinionated heads on stooping shoulders of demised desires, on your sturdy legs or stilts, but rise and become the voice of the unspoken, war cry of the mute, hoarse whispers of the fallen in the crevice of night. Rise when the tongue is sliced and gutted out and vultures are feeding on their dead entrails. Don't be a mute spectator. They will speak through you like an apparition, like a ghost in the machine, and will beg you to stay. Be a Messiah, ready to be burned at the stake. Rise, enrage their souls buried deep in their shame, your tongue born out of fire, raising hair at the back of their neck, speaking in an unborn tongue, like a catalyst for revolution. You give them a mission, a purpose, a reason for their crestfallen souls, a tourniquet for their bleeding wounds, a moment to survive, a shiny glimpse of the future. Rise, bedazzle them, rise like phoenix out of thin air, devour the stench of pointy accusations. Rise, rise up to see a new dawn, like the hope neatly tucked in the crevices of the unbroken seed. And I want to close my reading with the poem which is called Act Beautifully. If only we could truly realize the consequences of our actions, preached endless times but still failed to get the real essence. If only we could hear the sounds of souls and withering hearts that we mercilessly shatter as we continue to live. We live in a world laced with desire and hunger, of needs, of wants, of acceptance and rejections. While we continue to pave our path to success, no matter if it is laced and seeped with the blood of many, we continue to live, we continue to exist. We look for monsters in others, failing to turn the mirror towards us, the faint remembrance of who we truly are. Kindness that should flow through our veins, symphony of love that we all should syncopate to. I'm lost here in translation, like the tattered book forgotten to be picked from the dusty shelf, waiting for kindness that never returns. And yet, here I am, still waiting for a mindless conversation in this room to end the slithering from one selfish ear to another, waiting for a sliver of golden silence. They say silence has its own language, a lost art that needs an interpretation. To have that stillness that lies in the knotted legs of a meditative monk, or the mellifluous beauty of a swirling dervish, to know that we all need to listen, not hear. Listen to the heartbeats that tell us the simple truth, the truth to act beautifully, to find the plinth of our existence, to find the soul of the poem open for interpretation. Thanks everyone for listening. And congratulations to everyone who's part of the anthology, and happy holidays.
You. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now I'm the one. I'm next. Okay. Towers for the poor. They built a tower for those of moderate income. They placed a red line around this tower, camouflaged its identity. The people of the tower did get poorer, and in time, this list got longer. So they built another tower, and another, and another. The dominoes of poverty formed a pattern of towers. The patterns multiplied, and so did the red lines. No one outside the towers cared about the towers. With age came neglect. Cracks formed tributaries on walls. Plaster and paint fell like hail. It might be sunny outside, but the ceilings no precipitation. Appliances, doors, and windows broken like the system. A buffet of trash aplenty. A party for roaches, mice, and rats. If inspectors paid visits, they'd write up reports to be filed under inaction. They got paid for work not done, like the politicians who lie and pick your pockets. The violations multiplied into an explosion. One tower's wall collapsed, but no one was hurt. The tower was declared unsafe. The poor were evacuated to temporary shelters. Was the culprit an unchecked broiler or a faulty chimney? The city plans to investigate, but we know why that tower fell. Like the flick of the finger when playing dominoes, which tower will fall next? And this next one, Mr. Bojangles, is from the anthology. Thank you, everybody, for being part of it. Appreciate it. Mr. Bojangles. A raggedy man lived for music and Nina Simone, called himself Mr. Bojangles, played jazz on his secondhand sax, tap danced for tips and smiles. He performed on his makeshift stage at West 4th Street for an underground medley of passing souls and flavors, both the good and bad. His silver cup sometimes overflowed, other times emptied by thieves. Some would listen, others would run for their train or walk to the nearest staircase. The raw trains competed with his sax, but not enough to quash its notes. Even local rats would stop and show their respect. He spoke about Vietnam, his loss of friends to drugs and disease, his run-ins with the police, his life on the streets, his need to survive, his need to spread sunshine at West 4th Street. Yes, he would speak again about his life, then break in another dancing tune. When he finished, I left a tip and boarded my train, not knowing that his sax and dance steps would be no more. Thank you. This is a collab, AI collaboration between Lana Del Rey and Sia. I heard on YouTube, called The Beautiful Lie. Your Sandman's shadow wears deceit, escorts me into this clandestine deception. You are a beautiful lie, a sexy panacea, locked inside placebo wishes. Your beautiful lie submerges me, a living rapture inside loving captivity. Your little red pill, it conforms, doles another ounce of logic. False protection until time runs out of sand. Pills no longer valid, and each lie ditched like trash. This next one is inspired by Louis Armstrong. What a wonderful world. In a world of breaking news fed by the oligarch's will, stop, breathe, close your eyes, zone out, and heal. The collective is texting you. The world is still worth saving. Beauty's tough, a seasoned survivor, from a child's imagination to the tiniest leaf. Take a walk and observe the trees. They are way wiser. They don't complicate manners. They live in the now. The roses will return. Ask each crocus and daffodil and the tulip too. April showers wash this landscape. A rainbow curves over the Verrazano. The cold gray sky turns cornflower blue. The snow belongs to yesterday. Kids want to play by the swings. Hear Mr. Softy's jingle up the block. Your life won't be perfect, but kindness and serenity won't cost a cent. The collective texts you again. Yes, the world is still worth saving. Dictators will come and go, and humanity will have the last word. And I'm going to end on funny notes. My Christmas haiku, political, of course. Okay. Trump's Christmas tree, fast food ornaments dripping in gold and grease. MAGA dogs breaks East Wing ornaments. Cat gets the blame. Rudolph and friends, MAGA dinner for 9. Santa meets ICE. Illegal entry. Gifts confiscated. ICE cometh down the chimney. Chihuahuas attack. Got the cats and dogs in that one. Thank you. And Roxy, you take it away, girl.
Okay. I'm going to start with the one that's in the anthology, and I thank Patricia for accepting one of the Hitchcock poems. This is After I Confess, Hitchcock, 1953. So says the shepherd, or not. An assailant boldly confesses. Dead men don't. They eat their words mixed with dirt, their dirt mixed with worms. Forgive me, Father. God works their mystery. Heaven intercedes, judging kindly of love, manslaughter, maybe not so. Our parish priest questioned, remains silent, shepherds his flock, trusts unequivocally, virtue vowed. The word wins. Christians soldier on, yearning Zion. This life of sin with its inherent pain, maybe not so much. So just so you know that I do a couple of tricks. So Christians is spelled like you would spell Xmas. It's Xians. So that's how I got the X in that one. And I'm going to find another random Hitchcock to read. Okay. And this is After Lifeboat on the good ship Lollipop. An ark or burial at sea. Can you canoe? Do the dinghy? Damned if you do, dead if you won't. 8 Brits and Americans finally get going. Hallelujah to Lula. Hurried up and on deck. Let's bolt this train wreck. Industrialists, jokers, wild, and journalists. Kingsmen, laymen, mothers and maidens, naval officers and ne'er-do-wells. On board, tension goes overboard and pulses quicken. Rescuers of swimming strangers, these salty sailors and stalwarts. Survivors of all sorts are trapped together upon volant waves of emotion and ocean, X latitudes, Y longitude, zipping by at a good clip as the surf slaps their stern faces and swallows their dead. And one more, hang on a second. Oh dear. Can I get back? Let me try. Hang on a second. I think I lost my place. Okay. All right, one more. Choose your side after foreign correspondent Hitchcock, 1940. Amsterdam assassination. Bang, bang. Camera shoots Dutch diplomat dead. Europe erupts. Every expose fit to print. Foreign correspondents gaze, guiding his headlines. Heartthrob, air of heinous hydra of international intrigue in his sights. Jury's out on Daddy's good girl. Keyholes, Kafkaesque, loom large, love to, muzzle off, marriage proposal, transatlantic. Newsworthy observations of peacekeepers, prisoners, quirky resemblance to state signatory, text of treaty, uttered under duress by dead Dutchmen, vile villains, even virtuous men, wage war, weather permitting. 27th clause, an XOX prenup, yesterday's news, zeitgeist of troubled times. Thank you, everybody. And I just want you to know I've really been enjoying this reading, listening to everybody, the open mic. And
yeah, we still got more. We got a second part.
Still have more. Yeah.
Yes, more fun. We're getting started, baby. Okay. Thank you, Roxy. Thank you, Spotlights. Everybody, excellent. We're gonna go back. I'll go read off the list. We have Sarah Sarai, Dorothy Cantwell, Peter Kozlowski, Beth S.K. Morris, Eves, Bertha, Harvey, Josephine, Charlie, Irma, Amira, I'm sorry, Anaya, and Joni. Okay, remember, try to keep it under 2 minutes, one poem. Thank you. Take it away, Sarah.
Okay, I'm Sarah Sarai, and I'm looking for The Literary Underground is the name of the journal that published this poem. Being human is easy breezy. Someone turns on the lights, and the factory keeps buzzing, then foreclosure, and whatever was done is done. This thing can be done in a jello mold kind of way, the way of marshmallows, claustrophobic in lime green aquaria, and yearning for women whose bodies mean something. Broad-hipped women with heavy breasts of endurance, loving the anchor and the rising. And I say, this is not a lecture. And I say, this is not a lit class, nor lo, am I a narrator. Yet though I am not unreliable, I will pounce when pleased. I am waiting to be pleased.
Bless you. Okay, Dorothy Cantwell, take it away.
I'm going to read a poem called Midnight Scream. It is in the anthology. Over Midnight Scream. Overhanging branches claw at the dark, spindly fingers trembling, grasping for purchase. Wet gusts of wind move them in frantic circles, and her headlights search the night for the white line to guide her on the unlit winding road as she flees any thought of home, no longer sweet nor safe, but air thickened, sickened, poisoned with treachery. Hers is the only car on the road. Black moss hangs like stalactites from the arches of the stone bridges. She screams as she passes under them. She remembers the fun she had as a child, play acting that way on long drives, until her father reached back over the seat and slapped her thigh hard. "Knock it off right now, you'll make me crash the car." And her mother looked at her with wide, warning eyes. After that, she used to press her lips together and hold her scream and breath inside, pretending to be bound and gagged, held it in as they passed under each fearsome bridge. As it turned out, it was a skill that came in useful later, the ability to stifle her screams, smother her fear and rage. But now, in the car, hidden by the terrible shroud of night, she screams and does not stop until the cathartic sound is but a hoarse, raspy whisper. Thank you. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Next, we have Peter Kozlowski. Take it away.
Hello. It's called Force of Gravity. It's the force of gravity that's dragging me down, won't let me fly to the sky. Common denominator, zero base root. It's all in prime numbers have got me pegged. All those postulated principles of mathematic rage, like tiny lines tying some fat Gulliver down to the ground. It's the force of gravity that's digging all our graves, just like the canyon of the Colorado, age upon age. I need a lighter than air craft. I need warp factor 7. I need a law-breaking genius to make new sense of the old facts. I need a death-defying leap to salvation with a vengeance. I need something that I don't know what it is. It's a crude banality that's making me insane. I wasn't always such a screamer for a fix. But all those mass production fashions from celebs to handy wipes, and all that trivial excitement they engender in the populace, about enough to make you want to plummet to your death from some wild place up in the Himalayas. Force of gravity, those magic little fingers that get into every food item on the shelf. Force of gravity calls the lonely traveler as she reaches from the ditch for another round. Take history into our hands. Ha! Take herstory into our hands. Ha ha ha! Take our story into our hands. Well, actually, yeah, really. Why not?
Thank you, Peter. Okay, next up we have Beth. And after Beth, we're going to have Eves, and Bertha, Harvey, Josephine, Charlie, Amira, Anaya, and Joni. Take it away, Beth.
Hi, thanks, Roxanne and Patricia, for your always constant support of poetry and generosity in Brownstone Poets. Live long and prosper. That's all I can say. Okay, I'm going to be reading from my latest collection, A Yellow Notebook, which is a collaborative based upon my late father's last notebook. And happy to say it recently won the Firebird Book Award for first place in poetry and memoir. And I'm going to be reading, inspired by the two poems about snow we heard today and the coming of the winter solstice, The Blizzard. No street lights, no lamps lit in the houses on Ocean Avenue. Just my father and me, headed for King's Highway in search of milk, bread, anything we can find. Threading our way through walls of ice and snow, I sit cross-legged, arms folded across my chest, just as my father instructed. A rope tied around my waist to the back of the sled to keep me from falling off. My job, hold tight to the bags on the way home. I don't know how my father carried me, the sled, across the street to the trolley stop, how he followed the tracks under the snow in the dark. All I can see is the back of his coat, his arms and hands stretched out behind him, pulling the ropes, dragging the sled, the steady crunch of his boots.
Oh, beautiful.
Brooklyn born, Brownstone Poets in my heart. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful, hopefully better new year.
Thank you. We do need it. Eves, welcome and please share.
It seems like my camera giving me some trouble. I want everybody to see me. Can everybody hear me? I
Yes.
just just okay. Let's take it to the picture. My name is Eva. I'm so glad to be here, and I want to read this poem called I Got This. I need solitude embrace. Let me play this game alone. Let me chase the dream I own. Let me run unbound and unshaken to the finish line unbroken. This is my game. This is my dawn. I'm the victor. Victory calls my name. This is my hour. Let me shine in its flame. There's nothing I cannot do. Every challenge I adore. Faith in myself, strong and true. Before all others I saw. Before all other I saw. No matter what you whisper or say, no shadow casts my doubt or distant. My spirit is steadfast. I've chosen my way. I will triumph again and again. I see what today brings to me. Tomorrow hides in mystery verse. All I'm great is this brief display. So let me take my boldest shot. Now is the time I prevail. This is my game. This is my dawn. I'm the victor. Victory calls my name. This is my hour. Let me shine in its flame. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Please come again. Bertha, you're next, and then Harvey, Josephine, Charlie, Amira, Anaya, and Joni. Bertha,
Okay.
unmute and share.
I'm not. What?
Share. You're up next. You read your poem.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to read a poem from my new and selected What Want Brings. The Old Dog's Lament. I was barking all the time when I was a pup. I couldn't get enough of the sound of my high vagabond voice. The parallel report from the ridge-scraped barn, glaciated pond. The turtle, even the heron stopped to hear my song. I was a blithe boy, and those days spun out unbroken. Then I met the yellow bitch with the feral smell, exhorting voice. She and I, we became one beast, our fur commingling on the hill, mouths eating wind, feet in tandem. Even after coming to see my sweet in that last place, splayed and spread where she found her end, I could barely suss her fur there, dead, grayed among last summer's sere stems. Her smell still lay heavy on the hay. I had jaw-dragged her after the tires bump and thud, listened as she whimpered her awful death, but I could not stop her going. No one has to tell me to cease my sorrow song. I carry her face behind my eyes, now and then lift my head at what I recollect. Her bark, joy-struck eyes, tail thrilling against our day's blue skies. Thank you. And thank
Thank
you,
you so much.
Patricia and Roxanne.
Thank
What
you
a great
again.
reading today. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, next up is Harvey, and after Harvey, Josephine, Charlie, Amira, Anaya, and Joni.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'd just like to note that I've posted an invitation in the chat to Artful Dodgers Poetry's final open mic of the month, which will be on the last Sunday.
This is called A Failure of Conflict Resolution Among the Lilliputians, the final version. After they've taken turns garroting the mediator, she fires the "oh, but it's on" shot, a low blow, knowing he'll go nuclear, asserting that he's never taken her to DEF CON 1, not once, not even on their wedding night, that she's been faking it all the while, her mind during sex on that next great sweater she was going to knit, not for him, for UNICEF. Her high-pitched, oh God, a curtain raiser from a passion play, an artifice high school girls practice there for hygiene class, the better to fool their boyfriends. Eyeshadow, the latest color of the day, crayoned on cover models of Elle, Vogue, and Cosmo, is what she's really thinking of, and of being covered not by him, by God, but by some fabulous Fabio from head to toe. Impossible for him to tell when her yes means no. After the wreck of court-ordered mediation, they drift pro tempore together but apart on a shared bed, a sea of Egyptian cotton softness whose thread counts could make a math whiz faint from dizziness, rowing independently like lifeboats of a sinking ship. A pair of concupiscent porcupines curled up and daring each other to make that first move. Just now it's her turn to needle him, stitching him up in a way that would have drawn praise from Betsy Ross of Stars and Stripes fame, or the nameless seamstress Best stole kudos from, publicly flagging his private failures, his insistence upon playing cops and robbers during copulation, not to mention his premature ejaculation, the solar eclipse of his glow stick giving off a Chernobylish glow, her yes, no, maybe making a pincushion of his scrotum. And this is how a marriage ends, with high school sweethearts arm wrestling over the breakfast nook for control of the checkbook, necromanced into the hazmat suits of footed pajamas, readying themselves for 100 years of therapy. The children gestate migraines under survivalist duvets and wish, not for the first time, nor for the last, that both their parents had gone down with the ship.
Thank you, Harvey. Okay, we're going to move on to Josephine, then Charlie, Amira, Anea, and Joni to end the day. Take it away,
Hi.
Josephine.
Hi, I hope you can hear me. I'm
Yes.
in the city of my birth, Toronto, which is the land of the Haudenosaunee people, and I'm in the corner of a library trying not to make too much noise. This one was in the anthology, so thanks to everyone, and sorry I couldn't add my comments because I'm on my phone. The Sequence, written in California last winter. No peace to the sea, these waves puppets dangling from the moon's unseen strings, pushed and pulled, lowered, yanked, never really having chance to catch their breath. Along the stony shoreline, broken shells, crushed tail of a lobster, legs and carapace of a half-eaten crab, a dented sand dollar, and a portion of a mollusk. Fibonacci's secret exposed. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, next, Charlie. I take it away, and after Charlie, we're going to have Amira, Anea, and Joni. Charlie, unmute.
Thank you. I've unmuted. This is a poem called Cul-de-sacs. It was published in the October issue of Rattle, and it's also in my new chapbook, Cul-de-sacs. My love, it is time to admit I was right about cul-de-sacs and how the absence of through traffic and speed bumps and yellow caution signs is preferable to the occasionally inattentive and the curious or the dumb lost who wander down our small arched street, even if they use our driveway to turn around and wander back. I can't tell you how gratifying it is to be right about something when I was just as likely to be wrong. There's much guesswork in the decision-making process, 50-50 at best. My love, this was before you knew me, but back in my drinking days, I used to hand out fortunes in bars like a boozy Johnny Appleseed because it had dawned on me those fortunes I'd so carefully collected might not be mine to keep after all, and I should find their rightful owners and give them back the wing-shaped seeds of their future. For who would want to be accused of having waited too long for success to finally come their way, or to settle at last into happiness after a lifetime of change? And who of us doesn't need hope? But in case you're wondering, I kept the one I knew was meant for me, the one that said, "This person's love is just and true, and you may rely on it." It was you, my love, that cheap piece of paper was prophesizing. And wasn't I right about that for a while? Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. Okay, wonderful. And next, we're going to have Amira. Unmute and share.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Patricia, Roxanne, and the staff for publishing my poem at the anthology. I'm going to read another poem, not the one that's published, My Watery Friend. It's dedicated to my hometown, Durrës in Albania, and the Adriatic Sea, where the town is located. I left my hometown, Durrës, leaving broke at waste the wind that scattered my hair, the ship's sirens, the train's whistles, when moving in and out of town, igniting blood to the sea and the ground. Migrating separated me from the chorus of footsteps, pattering on street cobblestones, from the spectators on the sidewalks, burning in the heat of fiery nightfall, from the gusty laughter at the beach, from the sand castles as the waves crashed. Living stole a watery friend from me that invited me to dance and dissolve in his body like salt, where now and again I became the wavy hand to caress the arrow loops of the castle he had swallowed, and ask the forefathers what they regretted the most. Now and then I would turn into a strong current to get lost in his depths, to find what mystery he was hiding in his watery flesh, to discover where his heart dwells, what makes him happy, what angers him more, where does he hide the pain, the tears, where does he hide his lovers? What about gold necklaces? Why does he snatch them from girls' chests? Why does he grab the rings from couples' fingers? Is it how he expresses his love? Does he feel the pains of the drowned? Where does he conceal their graves? Can I light a candle from them underwater? Where does he nurture fish, algae, corals? What about sharks and snakes? What part of his belly does he hide them in before they attack? I left my hometown, Durrës. Migrating stole my blue water friend that invited me to swim, to have fun, to rejoice like a dolphin, and forget the hymn of groaning. Migration is a hard act. A part of my heart hangs like a talisman at the lighthouse on the Villas Hill, still waiting for me like the lighthouse until I, the pilgrim, even with half a boat, will return to my hometown again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to have Anaya Baker. Please unmute and share. Welcome.
Hello. I just have a short poem that I wrote last night, so it's pretty bare bones. It's called Anomaly. You aren't supposed to be here. You feel this deep beneath your skin, that phase you had at 5 years old, a feeling shaped like sin. You aren't supposed to be here. Open up and let them in. Yet rather than blood or bone, spills out confetti things. You feel like a piñata, the one you had at 10, and that feeling that consumes you begins to feel like a cozy den. You aren't supposed to be here, but anyways, you are. Best make the most of it. Go be a stupid star.
Thank you. Yeah. Come again, honey. Come again. Because our next reading will be January 31st with David Duffy, Pamela Laskin, and Zorea Zabud, whom you just heard. Okay, to end it all, Joni, Silky. Is that right? Silky?
Zozike.
Oh, Zeke. Okay.
Yeah, sort of like Suzuki, but only Zozike.
Suzuki. Okay, whatever. Thank you. Take it away.
Believe me, people have done worse. Okay. I just want to say thank you for all you've done. I know you're really tired. You don't really need to hear this, but wonderful, gracious, wonderful. Thank you and Roxanne for this incredible afternoon. Very inspiring, wonderful poets. Thank you, poets. This is called What My Mother Wanted. My mother wanted a boy, a girl. It was unclear. Through the fog of ether, she asked, "What did I have?" The nurse replied, "You had a beautiful baby girl." "A boy? That's nice." 5 minutes later, she asked, "Doctor, what did I have?" The doctor replied, "You have a healthy little girl." "A boy?" my mother said. "That's nice." This became a favorite family story. It eventually became a favorite joke. My family loved to laugh. My family is almost gone now. When we get together, we dredge up these old chestnuts and re-roast them in the fire of our laughter. My mother wanted to be on the concert stage, but she wanted children too. She adored my father, and they were a genetic cornucopia, a treasure trove. She wanted to gift the world with their extraordinary children, or so she thought. But it cost her, and she was angry at the inexactitudes of life, the quirks of life, the jerks of faith. She felt stopped. It was all her own doing, she chided herself from. My mother wanted her children to succeed. The sum content of her precious eggs and her husband's sperm. She resented him for that sperm. She viewed it as nonpareil, but resented him for the power he had over her. She resented him because she felt she had a superior attitude, though he was smarter than her, thought smarter than everyone. He owned an intellect that could rarely be touched. It wasn't his fault. He was born that way. She resented him when he died, leaving her to wither slowly on the vine until anger and remorse overtook her, and she flew away on the wings of Alzheimer's into La La Land, sweet L.A., the only home she acknowledged as home. My mother wanted more for herself, for her husband, for her children, for her piano, for her past, for her future. Where is she now? She replays in my dreams, and we talk about it. Once I said to her, "Mommy, I can't think of a life without you in it." She replied, "I can't think of a life without you." I said, "Well, I guess we're both going to have to live forever."
Wow. Thank you so much, everyone. Give yourself a round of applause. Thank you for making this anthology a success. Thank you. Give yourself a round of applause because you made it happen, not me. It's my staff and you, everyone else.
Yes.
And we're on hiatus now. Thank you, my staff. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah,
Happy
and
holidays, everyone.
we're on hiatus as of now. I'm on hiatus Until January 31st, David Duffy, Pamela Laskin, Zoria Zabat. I'll be to the people who have been supporting the series. You're going to hear from me on January 7th for the 2026 anthology. Don't bother me now, because that's it. I'm done. As of now, I am done.
Done.
I with love.
Done.
I'm tired.
Wow,
I gotta
l'chaim.
deal with Sense and Sensibility. I gotta send out the January thing. And I gotta do the Touchstone nominations. I gotta get out next week because I don't want to handle this. I want to have fun.
And all my
Patricia.
love to Jack. Hello, Jack. Jack in Paris.
Oh, hello.
Paris. Jacques.
Who's that? Sarah. Hello, Sarah.
Jacques.
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 I tipped my beret.
He did this car. He had the cover.
Oh, yeah.
He did the cover work.
Beautiful.
Patricia, I want a picture of all of us holding the book.
Yeah. Well, some of us are gonna get.
Okay, I gotta go. Bye.
Cheers, everyone.
It's okay. It's okay.
Happy New Year, Patricia. Thank
Happy
you.
New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy Hanukkah. Happy Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy everything. Diwali. Everything.
Happy holiday, everything.
Everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Enjoy. Thank you for making this
Roxanne and everyone. Thank
great.
Thank you so much, Patricia.
Thank you.
This is so great.
Happy holidays.
Good luck to all our pushcart nominees. We hope you all win.
I hope
Thank
so
you,
too.
Roxanne.
The winners.
I mean, we're a good magazine. Damn it! You know, come on. We got quality people.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, guys, that's it. Roxy, you want to end it off?
Yeah, I'm ending it.
Because I'm ready to blow.
And
I got information from Amazon that they say that this thing is a fire hazard.
oh my
I
God.
purchased it back in May, or was it April?
Oh my
I
goodness.
mean, well, I need a phone. I need a phone charger. What am I supposed to? You know, I don't know. I just got the information. It wasn't a hoax.
Oh dear.
Shoot. What else is new? It's 2025, right?
Right, exactly. Oh my God. Maybe you'll get one for Christmas. A new one.
Or maybe they should.
They should give everyone a refund or
Yeah,
send
they're gonna give us a refund. So I don't know how the hell they're gonna do it because I ready to wait. The box. This was back in May, April, May.
maybe you can just show. Well, you have the.
But they
receipt.
have the records.
They have the records. Yeah, they have the records.
I have to look at it better. I already got my coupon for refund at Kohl's for that for those stupid hooks.
Okay, great.
Because during the intermission, I was doing that.
Good for you.
So who's on this now?
I think Austin, Gear, and Eves. That's it. But they're muted. I'll
Yeah,
call back. I'm gonna